Seattle Seahawks are positioned to make a push to sign Antonio Brown, though they are not alone. There are other teams also interested in Antonio Brown's services, but it looks like there's a possibility that he could be back as soon as week 9, and Seattle is one of the teams making plans right now or preparations to pursue him. Keep in mind here that Antonio Brown spent part of the offseason working out with Russell Wilson and Geno Smith. He's good friends with both Seahawks quarterbacks. He's remained in contact with them. They've told him how he could fit in Seattle, what it would be like to bring him to the Seahawks. Can you imagine Antonio Brown in Seattle playing for the Seahawks? What a combination that could and would be. Now, again, they have not begun contract negotiations, and there are other teams interested. But the fact that there's this much activity around Antonio Brown now tells you that there's a real chance he's going to be back in the league here real soon, and Seattle looks like the most logical landing spot at this point in time.
Wow. Schefter, can you tell us, you mentioned the suspension and that we could see Antonio Brown soon. Can you just tell us exactly the parameters around why he would be able to play as soon as that?
Yeah, well, listen, the league suspended him this summer, and it suspended him for 8 weeks. We are coming on week 7 here right now. Then would be the 8th week. At that point, he would be eligible to be reinstated. Now, there's no guarantee that he's going to be. There has been some discussion and speculation that the NFL could impose additional discipline on him, and we don't know what way that's going to go at this particular moment. But my sense, reading between the lines, is that there's a real chance that the league might not. And if it doesn't, then Antonio Brown could be on the field as early as week 9. That's the earliest he could be on the field, Laura. Now, he also would have to go to visit a team, pass through the COVID protocols. That's a 5-day process that could slow things down some. But if there was a team that was ready to make a move on Antonio Brown, it could bring him to that town next week and have him ready to go for the following week. And we saw what happened last year. He stepped right into New England, played 1 game before the Patriots released him, made an instant impact. But again, think about Antonio Brown in Seattle. Wow.
Yeah, that 1 game for the Patriots last year, Adam, 4 catches for 56 yards, and that instant impact that you referenced. Feels like, to your point, the Seahawks wouldn't be talking about maybe signing him if they didn't feel like the NFL would allow him to play. Adam, stay close. You'll be with us as this news continues to develop and much more here on NFL Live today. Keyshawn Johnson is here, as well as Dan Orlovsky and Marcus Spears. And Key, I'll start with you. As you hear the idea that Antonio Brown could potentially join this Seahawks offense already with DK Metcalf performing at such a high level, what comes to mind?
It's Pete Carroll. And it's not just Russell Wilson, but it's Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll has a history of giving guys 2nd and 3rd and 4th chances, whether it was Marshawn Lynch that was supposed to have baggage coming from Buffalo, or whether it was Josh Gordon coming over from New England that had some off-the-field issues. If you can help the team win and you stay out of trouble, you will have a home in Seattle.
He was only with the Patriots for 2 weeks after being with the Raiders. Dan, as you hear this breaking news about Antonio Brown, what do you think he could bring to that Seahawks offense?
Oh, this offense would be unstoppable if AB was there. I mean, this is me making an assumption that AB is in some form of physical shape and ready to play football. I mean, if he goes and joins that offense, it clearly becomes the best receiver group in the NFL with DK Metcalf, and you know, Lockett's outstanding, and David Moore is very good too. So, like, they would have 4 legit receivers, and then Greg Olsen. So you got 2 speed guys. You know, DK obviously is a deep ball threat, but now AB brings another deep ball threat on the opposite side. So this offense would be, with Russell Wilson, good luck to the NFC. I mean, this would be a huge, huge signing. If they get him in a good place and he's physically ready, that would be enormous for this team.
Yeah, I mean, just to reiterate what Dan and Keith said about the talent, we obviously know that that's there. This is more about off the field and the fit. And I tend to agree with Key on Pete Carroll and making sure that the environment is right, that you bring in AB into. Obviously, if Russell Wilson wants him there, that's a heavy voice, considering that he's had what he's had throughout the league. So, and sometimes that's what it takes, man. More so than Pete Carroll believes, and it needs to be a guy that's actually playing, like a Russell Wilson. I think Tom Brady vouched for him when he was coming to New England. AB just has to make sure he's in the right frame of mind. Personally, make sure he understands that the things that transpired before, he can't do again, or it won't be a next time. So, yeah. From a football standpoint, it's a no-brainer. This dude was trending towards being one of the best receivers to ever play the game, if not already there. He's a gold jacket, Hall of Fame type talent for sure. Bringing him into the right environment, making sure that the guys that he feels accountable to the players, more importantly than the guys that are in the front office or the general manager or the head coach, which I think is the most important element in this. And based on the things that we've heard about Russell Wilson working out with him, Geno, DK Metcalf, I'm sure that they will have to be welcoming to AB coming on board as well, because remember, this team is undefeated and in position to make a strong push at making the Super Bowl as well. So AB will have to fit in their environment and their culture with those players more so than the front office and the coaches.
Yeah, it's interesting because there was that period of time last season where it felt like every other day there was something else going on with AB, and there were times when even all of us use the word sad, like wondering about his mental health, wondering about his well-being overall. And yet now it seems like he's been quiet for a while, Key. Like maybe he has been, and we don't know for sure what he's been doing, but maybe he has been more focused on getting back into the game that he loves. That remains to be seen. But if you're DK Metcalf and you're on this team and you've been proving yourself as this #1 type guy, how do you feel about AB coming in and maybe taking some catches, taking some opportunities away?
I'm
You're
fine.
good.
The mission and the goal is to get to Tampa to win the Super Bowl. And if this guy comes in and there's no issues, which I don't see any issues at all, and you say, well, what has AB been doing? He's been training. He's been waiting for this opportunity no matter what team it is. And if I'm DK Metcalf, I don't have anything to worry about. He's no threat to me. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do as long as he comes in and does what he's supposed to do.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.